Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for June 22nd, 2016, week 25 of the market. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only, to support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Economics for today, Wednesday, June 22nd, with MBA mortgage application starting off a pre-session. Good number out of the bucket, 2.9% actual, and looking at existing home sales as well today. Janet Yellen on the testimony, and the crude with a prior 0.9 and actual 0.9, so pretty much in line with the numbers. All right, let's take a look at the trading session focus here. Let's scroll down. That's for tomorrow, Thursday. There she is, Wednesday. 3 markets, 5 setups for a total of 139 ticks. We had a wonderful day yesterday to the end. Just scroll up and you'll see those stats there for week 25. 90 ticks on the NQ, 18 on the ES, and 31. And you're asking, well, how come you didn't get all those ticks to the downside? Well, we'll take a look at those charts and see what was the reason for possible hesitation. Hey, there it was. A wonderful move to the upside on all 3 indices. NQ here after the soft pullback. That's right, you see 2 charts in the green. Great reason to get in on that trade, as price action was holding above the T350s on the higher time frames, and YM and ES to the upside. What she look like? Exactly like that, putting those ticks in the bucket. And looking at that NQ, there it was. You got those 2 charts in the green followed by the 5144. You're asking me, well, that doesn't look like 4 charts. That's right, because what we did is we took the 3rd chart that is usually up. That's right, we're taking that chart right there, the study overlay here on Sierra charts, and we're expanding it to the chart here on the right. So we see 2 charts in the green. We see the soft pullback here. Price action to the upside is already crossing above the T350 moving averages, and there it is to the upside on the NQ, expanded here. So 2 charts in the green, you have a price action above both 50 paired moving averages, which gives you the higher probability setup to the upside. So there was the trend of the session. As we see here on the AD line, there's the AD lift there, advancers, decliners. So just when you thought, and that's right, that was the European close. At that European close, regular trading hours says, yeah, whatever. Janet Yellen on the stand, Brexit vote coming up, who knows, whatever. The trend was to the downside. A little bit of reprieve here at the 0, holding off and then breaking back action to the downside with a little bit of counter trend along the way. Let's take a look at the 5-minute charts across the board here in the crude here. Crude, remember yesterday we got that post-session lift there. There it was yesterday, as price action held within the zone within the first couple minutes, just like today, pre-release of the numbers, bringing the price action all the way down to almost S2 and yesterday's low, and pretty much fizzling out the rest of the session. Still holding at the highs here, guys, as price action on the crude pretty much just lost a buck today. ES, YM, and NQ. ES again, that nice little lift on all 3 indices this morning to the average highs. 1, 2, and 3 over here, average highs. Price action stalling up there, and then European close. Price action just gobbles its way down to finish around the Globex low on the ES, finishing just under the Globex low, CAM low down here, and the NQ finishing up at the daily gap, pretty much yesterday's close. Let's jump right over to the daily trend, taking a look at fib projections. Did we get any of our levels today? And yes, we did. Not bad after yesterday not being able to do anything. Price projection here, target high and target low. After that nice move up, European close, price action just moves. It's all the way back down to the fib targets, YM and ES all across the board. Great trending move today. All right, let's take a look at each of the daily trend charts as price action, starting with the crude here. Crude all the way to the downside here after its release of data from this morning. Again, lots of bars here on the numbers. And finally, after price action slowed down a little bit, sell signal on all 4 charts to the downside on the crude. That's all you need to wait for the setup, as the 50 below the 144. Price action in the afternoon pretty much closing out a little bit upside. No setup in the PM session. Taking a look at the YM based on the T3 strategy. Again, there's that set up to the upside. Take a look at that move on the 4 charts in the green with a soft pullback back to the upside. European close back downside. Playing a little catch up here. Wait until the price action broke below the T350 here. And then you're in 3 charts in the red. So a good entry over here. Not bad. Again, best setup. Not too many ticks. I know that's tough to see all those HA bars and trend, but based on this trading strategy, got to wait for as many charts in sync, and so didn't have that all the way up here. Again, the risk is on. It doesn't mean you can't take it, but when you expand the chart and look at it, it's a very nice, controlled, smooth trending day versus yesterday, which had a lot of chop action. So, hey, nothing wrong with taking 2 charts in sync. The increased risk, the higher probability trend was right here on the early entry with 4 charts, 3 charts in the red, and a solid Heikin Ashi bar downside. So you get 30, 40 ticks out of this move, or 50 ticks out of this move in comparison to perhaps the unknown here. But again, an entry under the T350 would not have been a bad setup, as we PM session just went too much chop and never really able to break the T350 there, as 50 held below the 144 on the 1-minute charts. Take a look at NQ. Again, momentum for the most part downside in the afternoon, as the morning moved to the upside, as we saw there on the early charts with 2, 2, 3, and then 4 charts in sync. Wasn't able to hold up. Again, once price action moved down to the T350, a little bit of a counter trend move, and then back under. You have, in comparison to the YM, you already have 3 charts here in sync in the red, so it would have been a nice move to the downside. Again, held off. And then price action here had the higher probability move. Must have been asleep at the wheel for some reason. This one again with 3 charts in sync. Early entry to the downside. Nothing to the upside. A little bit of an afternoon session here with a couple of opportunities for just a couple ticks. Price action and break even, or at break even minus. So if you're looking for 10 ticks off, you put your stop at -8, and you would have walked away still with 2 ticks, and that's exactly what I ended up with. So hey, at some point I decided that's enough for today. Had a nice good morning. Don't want to give it back in the afternoon, and as you can see, not much trending in the afternoon. Taking a look at the ES across the board, as we've seen in the 3 indices, nice green action all upside. So that was the early morning session. European close. Again, a little bit better on the ES than the YM and NQ today. Let's go ahead and expand that chart for you. As you can see, the 50, 144 to the downside in the PM session, and the charts below. We could see here the first initial move, not part of my setup. Here we are, 3 charts, 4 charts in the red on the ES to the downside, sell signal. There's your first setup, a little bit of a pullback. Second setup to the downside, pretty much could have called it a day there, as price action just chopped its way through the remainder of the afternoon. Taking a look at the GC, the gold, not much to share there, as we just went pretty much straight across. And the 6E, again, in relation to what's been going on, 6E with some nice little bit trendy moves here, again to the upside, playing a little catch up. You can see the bars playing a little bit lag here, as the sell signal, 2 charts in the red, 3 charts. Market internals are the last 2 charts, so you can always just go on the sell signal. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you're going to get full ticks. As you can see, you get stopped out down here. Might have turned into a loss for you. I didn't say all setups are winners. I just said higher probability that it may continue. All right, let's take a look at the daily gaps. How are we doing daily gap-wise? There it is. We still have a daily gap down here, 641 on the YM. ES down here at 2068.25. Thought we might come and close that out on the YM. Again, the white lines representing daily gaps, open daily gaps on both sides. What is the probability that we're going to get above or below? Well, we'll see here that in a minute. Crude again, after hitting that 50.23 open gap, that was closed out right here. We can go ahead and erase that, but it's nice to see that that's to what level we came up. Price action again almost coming down here to close out the 48.29. Taking a look at the fib projection levels. Fib projection levels across the board. ES, YM hanging out here, 17.05. That was the high of the day, around that zone, and not being able to break that. Again, ES with a 600-day VPOC 2093.50 again makes a run for upside, and then it was European close, and we closed out the VPOC from yesterday's session. Taking a look at the NQ, again, 600-day VPOC down below at 42.90, as the NQ, there it is, magnet towards 48.30 Price action pretty much finding a low around that 600-day VPOC. All right, what's the probability that we go get open gaps, whether upside or downside? Well, the probability right now lays in the daily big pick right there, as price action on the crude now showing us a reversal in trend on the HA bars on a 4-hour chart. 50 still remains above the 144. Price action here on a fib extension. 50 MA catching up here at 46.85. So if price action continues back under the 50 144 EMA, we can at least go grab that first open gap right there at 48.29. Otherwise, if that 50 holds above the 144, we go upside. We claim our next level at 55.41. Let's take a look at the three indices across the board and wrap this up for June 22nd. Price action on the NQ is looking to tomorrow. We are still underneath the 50 and 200. The NQ having a rough time on the 4-hour chart, breaking above the 50 and the 144. So price action with good amount of volume is still holding to the downside. So probability increases every day that we go ahead and close out those open gaps downside, especially here at actually the NQ is the one with the furthest down, all the way down at 40.17. Again, we have these levels down here that we can watch as the former lows and see if price action finds support there if the trend is to continue to the downside. Looking at the YMES with lines still to contend with, both open gaps, as we saw just here on the charts. Open gap here at 17,641 and 68.25. If it's not the open gaps we're looking at, then we're looking at the 200 period moving averages as another line in support. But as we see here, price action really struggling here as the T3 moving averages have been holding above the 144 for support. But now, as we see today, 50 MA on the ES finding a little bit of resistance, as well as the YM. It seems to me that price action may just overnight action may just continue to the downside after today's price action drop after European close to the upside. As we head into tomorrow, as we're closing out this week, again, it's all about, that's right, it's all about, we had our Yellen ×2. Don't forget, we have Russell rebalancing on Friday, which will move the markets a little bit. And then tomorrow, Thursday, begins the Brexit vote overnight. But remember that as we lead into Friday's session, that's when the numbers will start to come out. So watch for a wild session on Friday. Either way, whichever way the Brexit vote comes out, there will be some movement. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend for today. Feel free to stop by tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Have yourselves a blue zone day, good night, and good trading.